Hey, I'm Dan Williams. Welcome along. I'm walking with these protesters here behind me through the streets of St. Paul. They have been here for the last couple of hours. They did start at the governor's mansion, governor's residence, just around the corner here. They've now done a circle around. And as you can see, I'm going to step out of the picture and you can see down the road how many people are here today. And we're now I think we're heading back towards the governor's mansion, and there's a good couple of hundred people here, I think, in all here today. But there's been all sorts of different protests taking place, and very much the focus is on the governor, Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota. Today we've had other ones where they've walked on down to the state capitol building. It's about a 2-mile walk down from here, while others are less so. I just want to bring in some folks here to have a chat about this. Hey, how you doing?
How am I getting in here?
My name's Ann. Can I take yours?
Yes.
It's okay. I'll hold for you.
Oh, okay, great.
Tell me your name.
Delshia Perry.
Delshia Perry. Now,
Yes.
I know your story, but you're live now on Facebook. Tell me
Okay.
your story.
Yes, my son, Hardell Sherrill, was taken into custody in August of 2018. He went in happy, healthy, considering that he was there to pay his debt to society. My son, 9 days later, died. He suffered for 6 long days in Beltrami County Jail in Bemidji, Minnesota. My son is from the state of Minnesota. He was born and raised here. And at any rate, my son called me crying. He said, "Mama, they think I'm lying. They think that I'm faking it." And I said, "Oh my God," my baby was crying out to me. But of course I couldn't help him. So I called and I asked them, "Would you guys go see about my son?" Because if my son is calling me crying, he's a grown man. He had a very high tolerance for pain. So I knew something was serious. Well, they tried to say that my son was the problem, which wasn't the case. But at any rate, to bring it up to speed, my son died of what they call Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is treatable. But they neglected him medically and they abused him. He, on the 3rd day when he was in jail, he fell out of his bunk and he called me telling me, "Mama, I'm in so much pain, I feel like I could just roll over and die." Because they weren't helping him. They weren't treating his needs, his medical needs. They weren't doing anything. And of course, 9 days later,
Take your time.
my son was left in Depends, 27-year-old, in Depends. He looked like he'd had a stroke. His blood pressure was up. He had no control over his body, bowel movements, any of that. And they left my baby to die on a cold jail cell floor. Now I gotta tell you, Beltrami County Jail needs to be shut down. Why? Because my son's case is not an isolated case. There were a couple of people that died before my son. Tony May and Miss Bunker, Stephanie Bunker, under suspicious situations, circumstances. Well, then we found out that after my son died, there were 1 or 2 other people that died after, because my son died September 2nd of 2018. So we've been fighting, my lawyer and my team, we've been fighting, but we're up against the jail, county jail, MEND, MEND, who is a medical, they are contracted to go in and provide medical services. So we want to take their license away. We want to also sue, we are going to sue the hospital where my son was taken, and that's Sanford, because he should have never been released.
Right.
So we're up against, and then of course the correctional facility, the correctional officers, and the jail administrator, Calandra. She's still there now. And if she's hearing me, if she hears me say what I'm saying right now, I just want you guys to know we're coming to Bemidji. A group of us are going to go to Bemidji and we're going to walk, we're going to rally, but we're going to do it peaceful. But we're coming to let you know that we mean business, because what we're looking for now are criminal charges to be pressed against each and every one of them that were directly involved in taking my son's life.
Take a breath. I want to talk generally, if I can, about what you've seen over the course of the last 10, 12 days, right? Since George Floyd's death. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about what you're seeing about these protests.
Yes. Well, my son's case, there were Fox 9 News, Paul Bloom, tried to help us to get my son's story out. May 15th, we came out with new evidence that there were tons of violations in my son's case. But they didn't want to air my son's videos because they're gruesome videos to watch. So they didn't want to put those videos out there. But this has been mounting up. The pressure has been mounting up. It's like a pressure cooker, you know? And after so long, it just pops because the pressure is so much. And that's what you're seeing. I called Paul Schnell, who is the head, he's the commissioner of the Department of Corrections. And I told him, you know, this is going to continue until we get justice. And what does justice look like to me? Where we come together, because the true justice would be me getting my son back, but that we know will never happen. So the other justice would be that my 3 granddaughters would be taken care of for the rest of their lives from the state of Minnesota and what they did to my son. Justice to me is looking them in the eyes, is for the judicial system, the criminal justice system here, to change in such a way that they invite the families like us to the table to hear what it is that we have to say.
Let's just take a walk over here. Andreas, we're just going to come just because we don't want to get in the way of these speakers here. I just want to ask one more question, if that's okay. When obviously there's a lot going on, putting aside the story that you've just been describing, but do you see that there will be now change, like long-term systematic change? Do you think this is different this time?
I think it is different this time, and I pray that it will be different this time, because this cannot continue to happen. We've been fighting and we've been talking about this so many years, and as you've heard, Minnesota is one of the very real racist states in the United States. And until we become a United States, divided we will fall. We have to come together, and this is the time to do that. When we face the elephant in the room for once and for all, then and only then will we have justice, and we need it now. And I will continue to march and rally and talk and tell, and without the media closing and shutting down what happened to my son, because this picture right here is worth 1,000 words. This picture right here is part of 828 videos of the neglect and abuse inside Beltrami County Jail. This was what happened to him the day before he died. And the media here kept shutting my story out. They didn't want to expose them for what they had done. And this is why you have people out here, they were looting. Now, I don't condone looting, I don't condone the fires, but that's how they had to deal with their anger. And I understand it, because I'm out here grieving and trying to fight at the same time. And it's very hard as a mother to try to grieve and then fight and then fight and then grieve. And my brother, Trayon Cruz with Black Lives Matter, he has been out here marching like a soldier. We have been coming together. He's like, sis, we gotta, come on, you gotta, he's been helping me. I mean, it's been very difficult. I had back surgery 9 months ago. It's been very difficult. I shouldn't be out here begging for change from the system. Beltrami County Jail, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We're coming for them, and we're looking for criminal charges to be pressed against each and every one of them that were directly involved in my son's case. Now, You see that orange? You see that orange? I have to be the voice for those that are incarcerated, because this has to stop, and it has to stop now. This cannot continue. It's not just about the MPD and the St. Paul PD. This is about a whole law enforcement that needs to change. And I would say this to the legislature. I would say this to the President of the United States. If you invite me to come and talk, I'll give you an earful, because I got some information that you might be able to use to help bring about a change. But until you invite us to the table as hurting mothers to talk about how the system has terribly failed us, you will not be at peace, because no justice,
no peace.
No justice,
no peace.
Thank you. Thank you so much for telling your story.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you
so
very much.
I didn't get your contact information, did I?
We share right now. We'll finish this off and then
Thank you.
we'll
Thank
come back
you
and
so
chat.
much.
Okay, thank you. We'll take a walk over this way so we're not in the way here. I'm just going to, Andreas, you just want to swing around and show people there what's happening at the moment. This is the protest that is outside. You can see the governor's mansion just over there, Minnesota governor's mansion, and the message from people here is that they want justice and they want change, and without the justice and the change there will be no peace. That's the message that we're hearing chanting again and again and again. I should point out that, of course, those were the views of the person who we just spoke to, not necessarily the views of the channel, but I think it was an important discussion that we needed to hear, and I hope that helps bring some kind of further texture to this issue that we've obviously seen here in Minneapolis and across the United States. And I'll leave you with these images now of this protest that's ongoing here in St. Paul outside the governor's mansion. Thank you.